All right. Who's with you, Mr. Trevor?
We have Derek Nagler as our attorney. We have Lane Garrett as our attorney. We have Romy Maclay as Jesse Woodson. We have Ty Murray as Madison Jackson. Sue Wang as Dr. Crane. And we have no more here.
All right. On opening.
Okay, please support.
Yeah, and remember that there are, as far as I know, there's no voice intention in here. And you're talking to ears that have been hearing stuff for 80 years, so they may be a little not as sharp as yours might be. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, please support.
Proceed.
Opposing counsel and members of the jury. My name is Kinsey Grant, and today, along with my co-counsel, Noah Shostrom and Caroline Menton, we represent the prosecution, in this case, of the state of Florida versus Jesse Woodson. Members of the jury, this is a case about a bully with a brick. The bully is Jesse Woodson, and the brick is the weapon Jesse Woodson used to hit Angel Sterling in the back of the head. The two counts in today's case are aggravated battery and cyberbullying. Aggravated battery is the intentional cause of bodily harm with the use of a deadly weapon, in this case, a brick. The other count is cyberbullying, which constitutes sending or electronically posting messages on the internet with the intention to threaten, harm, alarm, or frighten the recipient. We are confident that after hearing our case in chief, listening to our witnesses, and seeing our evidence, you'll find a verdict of guilty on both counts for the defendant. It all began in November of 2010. Angel Sterling moved from Nebraska to Pikesville, Florida. She, just as many high school students, encountered difficulty fitting in and making new friends in a new environment. This process was made no easier by a group known as the Pirates, with their captain, Jesse Woodson. The Pirates of Jesse Woodson made Angel's life at Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School in Pikesville miserable. They pushed her around in the halls. They looked down upon her for her intelligence, even made fun of the way she spoke. Things got worse when Angel Sterling walked in on a burglary in her own home. She was up late one night speaking to some friends online when she heard a strange noise coming from her grandfather's back room. You will learn that upon hearing this strange noise, she went to investigate and found two masked men in her home. They were stealing her grandfather's medicine. You will learn that after they saw her, she was threatened with a brick to the back of the head. Angel Sterling assumed these people to be members of the Pirates. You will learn she was right. Angel Sterling also suffered from extreme cyberbullying. There was a page created by none other than the defendant herself called Clip Angel's Wings. The defendant, Jesse Woodson, even commented on this page, saying someone should really hit her with a brick, callously adding LOL, laugh out loud, to the end of her comment. Angel Sterling's life became so difficult that she was forced to stay home from school. Her grades plummeted. Her social life was even worse than before. Once again, it was miserable. Angel Sterling's grades eventually couldn't take it anymore. She had to return back to Dunbar High School. On her first day back, March 11, 2011, you will learn that she only stayed for half a day, and around noon was escorted out by Chris Draper, one of our witnesses today. Upon leaving school with Miss Draper, she saw Jesse Woodson leaning against a wall across the street, waiting for her, like a predator waits for prey. Angel Sterling tried to make it home that day, but members of the jury, you will learn that she did not. About 10 steps into an alleyway off of Powell Avenue, Angel Sterling was hit in the back of the head with a brick. We will bring forth 3 witnesses today. The first will be Dr. Sam Holloway, an esteemed forensic pathologist who will explain to you a red substance found on Jesse Woodson's shirt and under her fingernails. She will tell you how this same substance was found on the brick used to hit She will also tell you about the logistics of the case and how Jesse Woodson is obviously the attacker. Next, you'll hear from Chris Draper, the math and computer teacher at Dunbar High School. Ms. Draper will explain to you the dynamic among the pirates, Angel, and the defendant, Jesse Woodson. Lastly, Angel Sterling will bravely take the stand and explain to you what it's like to be the brunt of jokes and the prey of cyberbullying. Today we hold the burden of proof. We must prove to you beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty on both counts. After hearing our facts and evidence and listening to our case in chief, we know that you will find a correct verdict, a verdict of guilty on both counts for the defendant, Jesse Woodson. Thank you.
Your Honor, have we been able to object to anything we would have objected to argumentative, where she said predator, she represented Jesse as a predator waiting for prey?
I didn't hear it. Again,
Have we been able to object to anything we would have objected to argumentative for when she said that Jesse was a predator waiting for prey?
okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Are you ready to make your opening statement?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may proceed, sir.
May it please the court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is a case of Jesse Woodson being charged with cyberbullying and aggravated battery. The allegations are that Jesse sent Angel threatening messages and hit Angel with a brick. The evidence will show that Jesse Woodson did not commit either offense, but simply was at the wrong place at the wrong time. The undisputed evidence is that Jesse worked at the computer lab at the school. As an assistant, he befriended a group of students named the Pirates. She was like a surrogate big sister to them. She taught them to stay out of trouble, stay in school, and work together. The evidence will show that Jesse was just mentoring the Pirates and trying to keep them out of trouble. You will hear how Jesse Woodson had to take care of her little sister and volunteer her time at the computer lab. Now let's talk about cyberbullying. You will hear from Jesse on how she would help teach kids how to work on the computer, so that's why she would leave her account logged in. Jesse Woodson will tell you that she had posted a Facebook page named Clip Angel's Links, but that the purpose of this was just to calm down the situation. Jesse wanted the Pirates to vent, so that way they wouldn't go and do anything stupid to Angel. The evidence will show that Jesse was not the one sending the money messages, and that would be rather impossible for her to do so. As for Jesse Woodson, witness after witness will testify that students use each other's passwords at the school. We believe that the state's own witnesses will concede that students use each other's passwords at the school, so that way there is no way we can know it was Jesse Woodson who sent Angel the threatening emails. It will also be shown that Jesse had talked to Angel and only told her to stay away. That way none of the Pirates would get in trouble. Now to discuss the aggravated battery charge. The prosecution has the right place, the right story, the right time, but the wrong person. You will hear from Jesse on how she had come to school on March 11th just to deliver her little sister her lunchbox, and was leaning against the brick wall, enabling the brick dust to get onto her. You will hear from both Dr. Brooke Crane and Dr. Holloway that just because Jesse had brick dust on her clothing does not mean that it came from the brick that hit Angel. In fact, the brick dust on Jesse's clothing is one of the most common brick coatings throughout Pikesville, Florida. Now Jesse will tell you that after Chris Draper started to walk towards her on March 11th, she proceeded to go straight to her house. And just by bad luck, Jesse Woodson went to deliver her little sister her lunchbox the same day that Angel was attacked. Angel will tell you how she had supposedly heard a voice in the burglary of her house, but did not tell the police. She will say that she had supposedly heard the same voice at the burglary, on the incident on March 11th. But this time she decided to tell someone. As you hear from Dr. Crane, the wound in the back of Angel's head is most likely from a left-handed attacker, which Jesse Woodson is not. You will hear Dr. Holloway try to claim that this is incorrect, but quite on the contrary. Dr. Holloway will claim that for Angel to be hit by a right-handed attacker, Angel would have had to have turned around during the attack, which Angel will claim she didn't. Therefore, Angel most likely had to have been hit by a left-handed attacker, which Jesse Woodson is not. Jesse Woodson was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, there's not enough evidence to suggest my client, Jesse Woodson, was guilty. But there's overwhelming evidence that convict Madison Jackson of aggravated battery, not Jesse Woodson. Angel Sterling herself will tell you that it was Madison who was investigated for burglarizing Angel's home. Angel Woodson and Madison Jackson will tell you that it was Madison who was pulled out of class to speak to the police. And it It was also Madison who was suspended from school for bullying Angel. Now there's a presumption of innocence of my client, Jesse Woodson, until the prosecution proves beyond a reasonable doubt that my client acted upon this crime. And under all the evidence, we believe that you will give a verdict of not guilty of Jesse Woodson. Thank you.
Your Honor, had we have been able to object, we would have objected to the argumentative nature, especially in regards to counsel saying that Madison Jackson should be convicted of the crime. Thank you.
Counsel, you can move around the courtroom as far as I'm concerned, and you can move the lectern to suit your own needs, okay? Are you ready for the first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the prosecution calls Dr. Sam Holloway to the stand.
All right. As indicated, all the witnesses are deemed to be sworn.
Good afternoon, Dr. Holloway. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm Dr. Sam Holloway.
And Dr. Holloway, what is your profession?
I'm a forensic pathologist with the Pikesville County Police Department.
As a forensic pathologist, what do you do?
I study the elements and the evidence of crimes to determine what happened.
And what is your educational background?
I got my medical degree from the University of Sunnyland and my degree in forensic science from Pikesville University.
So for clarification purposes, you have a medical degree.
Yes.
Now, Dr. Holloway, have you ever testified as an expert before?
Yes, and there were 6 trials.
At this time, the prosecution moves to tender Dr. Sam Holloway as an expert in
Any
forensic
objection?
pathology and medical science.
No objections, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Dr. Holloway, how are you connected to this case?
I reviewed all the files in this case, and I examined the brick that was used to make this all.
Your Honor, permission to approach the witness? Permission to approach?
Sure. You don't need, henceforth, you don't need any permission to be approaching with. Go ahead.
Let the record reflect that I'm showing opposing counsel what has been previously marked for identification purposes only as Exhibit C.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
What did you
To
say?
the evidence, it's not Sam Holloway's direct statement, and had the prosecution been able, or wanted to hear something from the detective, they should have subpoenaed him.
You should be able to, go ahead.
Dr. Holloway, what is this?
This is the police report done by Detective Hoover.
Is it in the same or substantially the same form as when you last saw it?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, permission to publish to the jury at the appropriate time.
Now, at the appropriate time, go ahead. Do you have a question for this witness?
Not for this document. I would like to have it published to the jury. This is the report from Detective.
The jury will get it. Do you have questions of the witness right now?
Yes.
Proceed.
Dr. Holloway, what, can you describe Angel's injury for the court?
It was a deep laceration on the back left side of her head, 2 inches behind her ear to 2 inches above her.
And what are the potential side effects of an injury like this?
Amnesia.
Do you believe Angel Sterling to have amnesia?
I do not.
Why is that?
Angel could properly recall all of the events leading up to being attacked, as well as being struck with a forceful object. And when she woke up, she could determine where she was, who she was, and the date.
Is there anybody else testifying today as an expert witness?
Yes, Dr. Brooke Crane is also testifying.
Are you familiar with her testimony and her theories?
Yes, I am.
And what is your opinion on her theories?
I disagree with Dr. Crane on a number of things.
Why do you disagree with Dr. Crane?
Dr. Crane's theories are based off many assumptions.
Could you please explain her decision to the jury?
Dr. Crane believes that whoever attacked Angel had to be left-handed. However, she assumes that the attack was.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Yeah, I'm going to sustain that objection. Go ahead.
What is your conclusion of this case?
I believe that whoever attacked Angel could have been a right-handed attacker, but that the brick could have been thrown at.
And why do you believe this?
cross-contamination, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mayor, proceed.
Now, retrograde amnesia is the inability to recall events that took place before.
Slow down if you want me to.
Retrograde amnesia is the inability to recall events that took place before the trauma, isn't that right?
Yes.
And the reason you believe that Angel doesn't have a retrograde amnesia is because of what Angel said he remembered, right?
Yes.
Now, couldn't Angel just be making up this kind of thing?
No.
Why not?
I don't understand why she would or how she could.
Because there would be a creative memory off of the traumatizing event of being unconscious for 2 days.
I don't think that that's a likely possibility in this case.
Now, there were no fingerprints on the brick that was found at the scene, was there?
No, I tried to fingerprint the brick, but since bricks are pretty porous, no fingerprints can stick to it.
Now, so there's no way to strictly relate the brick to Jesse Woodson, is there?
There's the calcium silicate that was found under her nails and on the weapon that was used to attack Angel.
But isn't that calcium silicate one of the most common brick dusting throughout the city of Pikesville?
Well, it's a common brick dust. I don't believe that simply touching a wall can get it under your fingernails and have it stay there for that long. I believe that she would have had to be handling a brick in very close contact.
Having the knowledge of the affidavit, you know that Jesse leaned against a wall before he went home, right?
Leaning against a wall wouldn't get it under your finger.
But you know he was waiting for something, right?
Yes.
And so he was most likely bored, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of personal knowledge.
Objection overruled. What was your question?
I said, so waiting there for a long time, wouldn't someone like that be bored?
Do you what?
Be bored, so he would be chipping away at the wall, Your Honor?
Do you understand the question?
No.
I don't either. Try it again.
All right. So you know that he was bored, or you know that he was leaning against the brick wall, right?
Yes.
And so you know that he was waiting for a long time, waiting for his sister, correct?
Yes.
So waiting for a long time, doesn't a person get bored?
Bored?
Bored, yes, sir. As in not having something to do.
Did you object to that question?
Yes, it is.
State. Okay.
And Your Honor, may I?
I thought you'd objected to it originally, but I didn't get it right away. A little slow. I think I got it now. All right.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a diagram of Angel Sterling's injury.
Your Honor, may we move this into evidence?
Any objection?
No objection, Your
All right,
Honor.
fine, yeah.
Okay, so doesn't, on the top of, or may I publish it to the jury, Your Honor?
Yeah. You gonna give them a copy that you got about?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You have one for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Now, isn't the injury biggest at the top?
Yes.
So that suggests a left-handed attacker, right?
Not always. I think that any handed attacker would naturally swing down.
It's on the left side of the head, isn't it?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be more common for a left-handed attacker to hit Angel Sterling?
If they were standing to the side, it could completely alter the situation.
Okay, and is there still a possibility that a brick would fall off the roof and hit Angel?
I don't believe so.
Is there a possibility?
A very slim possibility. The building that they're talking about is dilapidated, but it's dilapidated on the other side, so not on the alleyway that Angel was walking on.
Thank you.
Any further
Question, Your
questions?
Honor.
Can you redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Chief.
You believe that, why, can you please repeat again why you believe it is that Angel does not have amnesia?
Recalled being attacked. When she woke up, she could determine who she was, where she was, and the date.
And when you say she could recall events leading up to the attack, how did you come to this conclusion?
What Angel says happened correctly matches what everyone else says happened. And Angel remembers the voice before Jesse attacked her.
Okay. And the defense in this case, they mentioned calcium silicate. Can you explain to the jury what calcium silicate is?
It's a coating that's used on rings.
And with this coating, could it get under your fingernails simply by touching something?
properly remembered things, Angel properly remembered things, so that's why he doesn't have retrograde amnesia, am I correct?
Yes.
So, there's no severity number on if you have retrograde amnesia, you're not gonna remember this amount of hours, am I correct?
Objection, Your Honor, ambiguous question.
I didn't hear the question.
No, Your Honor, what I,
If this is what, just slow down, try it again, all right? You've got lots of time.
yes, sir. Retrograde amnesia doesn't have a severity, so having retrograde amnesia does not mean that it automatically, you're going to have this number of hours of loss of memory, right? It could,
Objection, Your Honor, ambiguous question.
I was ambiguous, I'm
Do
asking.
you understand the question?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, well, then you must be answering it. What is it you're trying to find out? Is there an inside or an outside time frame when you can say that it's retrograde amnesia?
Right, they
Is
could.
that your question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you answer that one?
I still don't understand.
I didn't do any better. Try again.
Okay, with retrograde amnesia, there is not a set amount of time, if you have retrograde amnesia, that you will not remember, am I correct?
Objection, Your Honor, ambiguous question.
Do you understand? Does the witness understand?
No, I don't. Are you,
Well, why don't you
Can you
help
please
him out?
explain
What
what
do you
you're-
think he's trying to get you to?
like, I just don't understand what you're asking.
What do you not get?
Like, what time are you talking about?
The time if he were to have retrograde amnesia, there's no set time that he wouldn't remember, like an hour.
Now, all right, now, are you talking about from the time, the onset of amnesia until they come back to reality? Or are you talking about the time interval between the incident and then the time that they are later relating what happened?
Or no, before, like retrograde amnesia is the inability to recall events that took place before the trauma, right?
Yeah.
And there's no set amount of time that he's going to forget things before the trauma.
Are you asking her if that's correct?
Yes.
There's not a set amount of time before he forgets.
Right. Or there's not a set amount of time that he forgets. He doesn't automatically forget an hour that happened before the attack.
Can you answer the
I
question or not?
don't understand.
All right, well, I think I've given you plenty of good shots at it. You still haven't gotten the question at the end. Anything else?
There you
All right, we're gonna step down. Next witness.
Prosecution calls Christopher. Would you introduce yourself to the court, please?
I'm Chris Draper.
Do you have a job, Mr.
I do. I am the math and computer teacher at Dunbar High School.
Now, working at Dunbar High School, are you aware of a student named Angel Sterling?
I am.
Are you aware of her experience with Dunbar High School?
I have seen that she has had a difficult time adjusting to the new kids at Dunbar High School.
Could you explain that?
I've seen that kids have pushed her, especially a group of kids called the Pirates. They tend to call her names, make fun of how she talks.
Do you know anything about this group called Pirates?
I know that Jessie is your main person in charge of the group.
Who is Jessie Wilson?
She is my intern at the computer club.
Is she still your intern at the computer club?
She is not currently.
Why is she no longer your intern at the computer club?
Because the principal informed me of her contact with Angel, the possible contact with Angel and the Pirates.
So, did you have a conversation with Jessie Woodson about her being fired from your club?
Objection, Your Honor, to the characterization of Jessie as being fired. There's nothing in the affidavit to suggest that she was fired.
All right, to that, I'll sustain that part of the objection. Go ahead. Try it again.
Did you have a discussion with Jessie as to her removal from the club?
I did. I told her that she was suspended and she was furious.
Did she do anything in particular that you noticed?
She mumbled something under her breath about Angel Sterling.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Motion overruled.
Since that day, have you seen Jessie Woodson?
I have mid-March, she came to school, I don't know why, but when I was escorting Angel out of the school, I saw her across the street.
Did you try and talk to her?
I tried, but as I was approaching her, she immediately turned away and walked down east on Basin Avenue.
What was Angel Sterling's reaction to this?
She was obviously intimidated, so I talked to her and I tried to keep her at school, but she didn't. She wanted to go home right away. So
Which way did she go?
she went the same way as Jesse was east on Basin Avenue.
No further questions.
Any cross-examination?
One moment, Your Honor. You mentioned earlier in the prosecution, in the testimony of the prosecution, that you had to suspend Jessie Woodson. So
That's correct.
Jessie Woodson was not a student at that time at Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School, so you could not have suspended her, is that correct?
Correct.
You asked her not to come back to utilize, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So at this computer lab, people sign in and sign out on other people's accounts all the time, isn't that correct?
They weren't supposed to, but yes.
Okay, so anyone can use anyone else's account, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were the one who made the decision to hire Jessie Woodson, is that correct? And Jessie Woodson did her job, and she did her job well.
She did her job.
And she helped out all the other students in the computer lab, and she helped them out with their computer programs and their homework, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, to your personal knowledge, Jessie never threatened anyone, is that correct? It was Madison who threatened anyone, is that correct?
I guess, yes.
That's which question, which one?
It was Madison who threatened anyone, is that correct?
I didn't see directly who, insulted, Angel.
But you testified earlier in your affidavit that you had to suspend, or you had to send Madison up to the principal's office to get suspended for threatening Angel. Would you like your affidavit so that,
Sure.
to refresh your memory? Okay, hold on 1 second. Apologies, Your Honor.
Sure.
Right here. Can you see that?
Am I reading?
Right here where you said that
Now, what are you pointing out? From what document is that?
this is her previous
The
statement.
witnesses,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right?
When she testified that she heard Madison threatening her. Is that correct?
I heard her threaten, but I did not see her threaten her.
And you saw, and you would send Madison to the vice principal's office, is that correct?
Correct.
And Madison later got suspended, is that correct?
Yes.
So, to your personal knowledge, Jessie never threatened anyone, is that correct?
That I know of.
Jessie never punched anyone. Jessie never shoved Angel.
No.
Jessie, that you saw, never did anything aggressive directly towards Angel, is that correct?
Not that I have seen, no.
So, on the day of the attack, were you in the alley?
No.
Did you see who attacked Angel? Did you see what happened?
Objection, ambiguous question.
Objection overruled.
So you have no personal knowledge of what transpired, is that correct?
I don't.
Nothing further.
Any redirect?
Would you like to use the statement of narrative? Narrative,
Yes, sir.
inform you about Jesse Woodson?
She said that there was a possibility.
Objection, hearsay.
I said, you're asking her, you're asking the witness about what somebody else said?
I'm asking what she learned, what the reasoning was. Yes, I'll read it.
Now, are you offering this for the truth of the statement, or merely to establish that what the witness heard from somebody else?
I'm just offering to establish what she heard from Ms. Campbell that resulted in the finding.
Then that is not hearsay, because if it's not offered for the truth of the utterance made, it's admissible. Objection overruled. We may answer the question.
What did you learn from Ms. Campbell?
I was told that Jesse could have possibly been part of the pirates.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is speculating. Jesse could have possibly been part of the pirates.
Your Honor, if
Let
I may,
me- Go ahead, go
if
ahead.
I may, she's only talking about what she heard, she is not talking about her own.
Right, and the jury understands that this statement is being admitted by the court, not for the truth of the utterance, but merely to let you know what the witness heard, all right? With that understanding, you may proceed and you may answer the question. Objection overruled.
What did,
And I was saying, Jesse could have possibly been part of the pirates, and I was informed that the pirates could have possibly been part of why Angel was hurt or injured.
thank you, Counsel.
You may step down. Next witness.
Prosecution
does something horrible.
I'll sustain the objection to that question, all right? Your disregard to witnesses answer. Go ahead, please.
Angel, how did these comments make you feel?
I was so intimidated and frightened. I didn't even want to leave my house.
Just like to clarify once more, who created this page?
Jesse Vincent.
Now, you went back to school on March 11th, right?
Yes.
What was this day like for you?
Well, nobody really said anything to me, but I got a lot of dirty looks from the pirates.
Did you go home?
No, I never got home that day.
What happened?
Well, I decided to leave at lunchtime, and Miss Draper walked me out. And when we opened the door, we saw Jesse Woodson staring me down across the school.
So what did you do?
I just wanted to avoid her at all costs. I took the long way home.
And did you ever get home that day?
No, I didn't.
What happened?
Well, like I said, I took the long way home, and I even went into a store to get her off my back. I felt like I was being stalked. And I saw an alleyway that would lead to my house, and I went down the alley. No one was in it.
What happened in the alleyway?
I got 10 steps. And I heard someone say, "Got you now."
And then what happened?
I don't know what to do to leave her hospital.
Why were you in the hospital?
I've been hit in the back of my head, and I have 16 stitches.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Now, Jesse Woodson wasn't the only pirate that bullied you, is that correct?
No.
And whenever Jesse did approach you in the hallway, it was with the intention of smoothing things over between you and the pirates, is that correct?
Jesse told me to stop making trouble. That's not exactly nice.
But he didn't hit you, did he?
Objection, Your Honor. This calls for a legal conclusion.
What's that?
This question calls for an answer that would give a legal conclusion.
Objection overruled.
Okay. In the hallways of Dunbar High School, when Jesse did approach you, he didn't hit you, did he? He didn't scream at you, did he?
No,
And he didn't touch you in any way, did he?
not at school.
Okay. May I first witness?
Okay.
Now, on the evidence submitted, could you please read Jesse Woodson's statement once again? We're referring to the jury.
Someone should really teach that kid a lesson. Anyone got a break?
Now, the comment of LOL is used to signify that that's a joke, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Irrelevant evidence.
How is it irrelevant?
What's irrelevant?
Well-
You've introduced the comment and you're trying to,
Yes, Your Honor.
wait a second. Counselor, you are trying to establish what that LOL means or what?
Yes, the LOL means laugh out loud, which is used
Well,
to
that's fine. You're not the witness, not the witness that. And what is your objection to him exploring some evidence that you put in?
We believe that the witness's comment on what LOL means and how people use LOL, meaning laugh out loud, is irrelevant to the counts of cyberbullying and aggravated
If
battery.
that's your objection, it's overruled. Proceed.
So LOL is used to indicate a joke, correct?
In a what?
Used to indicate a joke. The comment of LOL is used to indicate a joke in fact.
You understand the question? Can you answer the question? Go ahead. Okay.
Well, from what I understood of the question, I don't really find that funny.
But it can be used to indicate a joke.
To a really sick person.
So Jesse Woodson could have used the statement of LOL to make it a joke. Okay. Now, Madison Jackson also bullied you, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Madison Jackson bullied you as well, is that correct?
Yes.
And it was Madison's ID card that was found at the burglary on February 22nd and not Jesse Woodson's, is that correct?
Yes.
And before you were sorry, you didn't turn around, did you?
I don't have time.
So there was no way for you to see who hit you with the brick, is that correct?
I heard a voice and it sounded a lot like Jesse's.
But you didn't turn around, did you?
No.
And you didn't see Jesse Woodson.
save you time, you don't have to ask permission to, approach the witness. You have permission for the witness on this thing. Oh, go ahead.
Now, could you please state your name for the court?
I'm Dr. Brooke Crane.
And how many years have you been practicing as a forensic pathologist?
Over 20 years,
And how many cases have you served in as an expert witness?
over 70 trials.
Now, how would you classify the attacker?
The attacker was most likely left-handed
And why would the attacker have to be left-handed?
because on the back of Angel's head, the stitch was from the back left of her head and it was deepest at the top and going down the straight edge.
Are there any other reasons?
There are other ways such as it falling from the brick could have fallen from the top of the building or it could have been thrown.
Okay. Now, could you specify what is Jesse Woodson?
Jesse Woodson is right-handed.
Okay. Now, what types of effects could be caused by this sort of trauma?
This trauma could be caused, there could be loss of hearing as well as vision, and there could be loss of memory, which could conclude to amnesia.
And what types of amnesia?
Your Honor, in proper character testimony, this witness has not been classified as an expert in amnesia or mental.
But it is stipulated in the case packet that she is an expert witness.
I believe that was a stipulation, I understood.
It's stipulated that.
But it is her expert
Excuse me,
opinion.
let me hear the objection. Get it, ma'am.
It is stipulated that this witness is an expert in forensic pathology. If the defense would like to ask her questions based on anything other than forensic pathology, the prosecution asks that they tender them as an expert in that first.
How do you respond to that?
I believe that it is stipulated that she is the expert witness and it is her expert opinion that Amy has amnesia.
Right. I'll overrule the objection and let it testify.
Thank you.
You may have her on cross-examination.
Now, do you believe that she could have either types of amnesia?
Yes, she could possibly, she could have retrograde amnesia.
And would you please describe what that means to the court?
It means that she created memory due to the terror and fear before the attack.
Okay. Now, what type of powder was found in the brick?
Calcium silicate.
And is calcium silicate a very common type of brick coating?
Yes, calcium silicate is found all over Pikesville on school buildings as well as walls.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
All right. Cross-examination.
Dr. Green, you testified that you believe that the attacker was left-handed, correct? Yes. And this is based off of the assumption that the attacker was standing directly behind Angel Sterling. We do not know the exact position of the attacker. So, had the attacker been standing even a little bit to the side, the dominant hand would not have mattered, would it? Due to my conclusion that there is exactly 66% chance that the attacker could have either stood behind or to the left, which means the dominant hand would have to be the left. Let me move you to Angel Sterling's injury. You believe that this injury caused you amnesia, correct? Yes. And you're aware that the injury is on the occipital lobe of the brain? Yes. And you're aware that the occipital lobe of the brain controls eyesight, correct? Yes. So, it's possible that Angel Sterling does not suffer from amnesia. But due to the fear and trauma that could have happened, she could have created the memory of the voice. But there's no medical evidence to suggest that she suffers from amnesia, correct? Based on my expert opinion, I believe that she had created the memory due to fear. You also believe that the brick could have fallen from a building, correct? Yes. But you were not at the alleyway when Angel was attacked, were you? No. So you did not see this? No, but... And you have never, in fact, been to the scene, have you? No. And you've never seen this building? No. So you never saw if there were any bricks missing from the top of the building? You do not have to conclude that if there's any missing bricks to conclude that there is a possible chance that it could have fallen from the top of the building. So you speculate? Yes. Now, you are also aware that this building was on Angel Sterling's right side, correct? Yes. And Angel Sterling's injury was sustained on the left side of the head? Yes. And the building in question was dilapidated on the side of the building opposite to the alleyway? Yes. Thank you. No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down.
Do you know a group of students named the Pirates?
Yes, I'm sort of like a big sister to them.
And what are they?
They're just a group of friends that look after each other.
What is the main thing you kind of teach the Pirates about?
Computers.
Do students ever use each other's accounts on these computers?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor,
I didn't hear the question, and I didn't hear the objection. What was your question?
do students ever use other students' accounts on the computers at the bar?
That question means, would you use somebody else's name?
No, not her. Do students in general ever use any other students' accounts?
And what's your objection?
Object to leading. He is suggesting that other students use.
No, that's not a leading, but objection over. Proceed, answer the question.
Yes, all the time.
Do students ever use your account?
Yes.
Why have you talked to Angel before?
I told her not to get in trouble with the pirates since they've been mad at her.
Who is particularly the most mad at Angel?
Madison.
Why do you think he was?
Because Angel framed Madison when he broke into her house.
What disciplinary action happened to Madison after he was accused?
He got suspended.
What happened to you when he was suspended?
I was told not to come around the computer lab anymore.
Do you know what Faceplace is?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like the record to show that I'm showing the prosecution Exhibit D. And may I read Exhibit D, put Angel's wings, Your Honor?
Yes, it's in evidence, isn't it? Yeah.
Are there evidence? Your Honor?
It's already in evidence.
Yes,
You
Your
showed-
Honor, we got it.
You showed it to the prosecution, but it's already in evidence.
Can you look on the fourth statement of page 3? Can you please read that for us?
Someone should really teach that kid a lesson. Anyone got a break? LOL.
Now, what does LOL mean?
Laugh out loud. It means that you're joking.
Okay, do you have a BuddyLink account?
No.
Is it possible for someone without a BuddyLink account to send a message?
No.
Do you remember March 11, 2011?
I do.
Why were you at Dunbar High School that day?
I was bringing my sister her lunch since she forgot it at home.
You had brick dust on your clothing when Detective Cooper found you. What was this from?
It was from the brick wall I was leaning against when I was waiting for my sister.
What did you have in your hand when you were waiting for your sister?
Her lunchbox.
What color is this lunchbox?
Red.
Why did you leave that area?
Draper was coming towards me, and since he told me earlier not to come around the computer lab anymore, I didn't want to get in more trouble.
Where did you go?
I went back home.
What happens once you got home?
I got a call from Madison at around 12:15 to 12:30.
And why wasn't Madison at school?
He was pretending to be sick.
And Jesse, what's the one your down here?
Right hand.
And did you commit the aggravated battery?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for a legal
I
conclusion.
didn't hear the question.
Did you commit the aggravated battery?
Did you,
Did she commit the crime?
you asked her, did she commit the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's your objection?
That this calls for a legal conclusion.
I object to that objection. That's not in the packet for objections.
I object to, Your Honor.
Objection overruled. You're asking her, is she guilty of what she's charged with?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I believe that this is a matter that opposing counsel should take up on their closing argument.
I would like to mention it to my aides.
Well, I think the witness is able to tell the jury whether or not she did or didn't do what she's charged with. So objection overruled. You may answer the question.
I did not do it.
That's all, Your Honor.
All right, and cross-examination. Now,
Jesse, people think you're a troublemaker, don't they?
They do.
And this is because you've thrown a brick at someone before, haven't you?
It was an accident. I was just protecting my sister.
So you accidentally protected your sister by throwing a brick at someone?
I was protecting her. I wasn't meaning to throw a brick. Well, like I was making the kid run away because he was harassing her.
And to make him run away, you threw a brick at him.
I didn't think it would hit him.
But you did throw the brick.
I did to protect her.
Objection, argumentative, and asked and answered.
objection overruled. It's a cross-examination. Proceed.
Now, you said that you threw the brick because you're protecting your sister.
Right?
And you love your little sister, don't you?
I do.
You're also protective of the pirates, aren't you?
Yes, that's why I made the website.
And you even said that you're like a parent to them, right?
Now I said like a sister.
Are you sure? aware of how it works?
Yeah, I made a page.
So you're aware, being that you made the page and you're familiar with it, so you can block certain users from seeing pages, correct?
Right.
So you made the page Clip Angel's Wings, correct? Once again,
Yes.
and it's already been entered as Exhibit D.
Right.
I would like for you to reread your comment, the fourth one down on page 3 that you've read previously.
Someone should really teach that kid a lesson. Anyone got a brick? LOL.
And once again, for clarification, you said you know that you can block people from seeing certain pages, right?
Yes.
And you're aware that Angel uses faceless, correct?
No.
But you made this page without thinking maybe she would see it.
I made it for the pirates.
Did it cross your mind at all that Angel may see the page?
I didn't think about that. It was just for the pirates to, like, have conversations about whatever they want.
Conversations that involve bodily harm with a deadly weapon.
They just wanted to have a place where they can, like, let their feelings out so they don't do anything stupid.
You think you're a responsible adult, don't you?
Yes.
Do you really think it's responsible to make a page about hitting someone with a brick?
Yes. because
Objection,
of
Your Honor.
concentration.
Argumentative. She's just repeating the same question over and over again.
Objection overruled. Go ahead.
Do you think it's responsible to make a page about hitting someone with a brick?
Yes, I do, because it, like, controls the situations and calms it down.
How does it control the situation?
So they don't actually do it.
They look up to you, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And you made the comment about hitting her with a brick.
It was a joke.
Do you think it's funny to joke about hitting people with bricks?
Everybody knows about the incident I had before. So it was a joke, yes.
And just for clarification purposes, people think you're a troublemaker, don't they?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
So, you said that you don't use Buddy Link, right?
I don't.
But you do work at Dunbar High School,
Yep.
where you have a special account because you used to be an intern.
Yes, but I don't use Buddy Lane.
Yes, I know, but you do have a special account.
It's an account, I guess. Just a regular account.
Now, you left that account open so that other people could use it, correct?
Right, I leave it open so I can show other people who websites I found.
Isn't it true that you're not supposed to do this?
It logs out automatically, so
But as somebody of a higher position, you're not supposed to leave your account open for students, correct?
I showed them the websites that I'm like that I think are interesting.
Your Honor, could you please direct the witness to answer my question that she is not supposed to leave her account open?
Can you answer the question? Then don't do it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to leave it open.
However, you did it anyway?
Yes, because I showed them stuff.
No further questions.
Redirect, yes, Your Honor. First of all, you let other students on your account. Or did you let students on your account?
Yes, to show them cool stuff.
And you suspect that Christopher knew that this happened, right?
Objection, Your Honor, leaning.
I'll withdraw the question, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
Were you in trouble before?
I was protecting my sister by throwing a brick.
And why did you throw or what were you protecting your sister from?
One of the kids were harassing her, so I was just making them run away, but it
No further questions, Your Honor.
Why don't you even step down? Further witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls Madison Jackson to the stand. Please introduce yourself to the jury and the court.
I'm Madison Jackson. I go to Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School.
And are you a member of a group called the Pirates?
Yes, I am.
And who makes up that group? Has your group had any problems with any other students at the school?
Yeah, this group called the this new girl came to our school named Angel Sterling.
Why did you have problems with her?
Well, when she first got there, she was really snide. She acted like she knew all the answers. She was just really annoying. One time, I went to answer a question in class, and she said, "Wow, good job. I'm impressed you knew the answer." She just was not someone we liked.
Have you done anything because of those problems?
Yeah, we have.
What did you do?
we've made it known that we don't like him. And also, there's a Clip Angel's Wings place Angel's Wings about.
Your Honor.
I have no worries.
And did you post any comments on Clip Angel's Wings?
Yeah, I did.
And could you read us some of the stuff that you posted?
Said she should probably go back where she came from. I said her life at TMS was like over, and she's nothing. She's a nothing. We can be better without her. I also said that she was like a chubby nerd. She needs the pain. She shouldn't have been born.
And why did you post those comments?
I was angry.
What were you angry about?
She framed me and got me suspended from school.
What do you mean by that?
She went and said I broke into her house.
What made her think that?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of personal knowledge.
Yeah, to that question, I'll sustain the objection.
What? Do you know a kid at your school named Jessie Woodson?
Yes.
And what kind of kid is she?
She's a good kid.
Okay. And did you talk to her on the day of the event?
Yeah, I did.
What did you talk about?
Well, I was sick that day, and none of my parents were home, so I was bored. And I went and called her around 12:15, and I basically just talked about made plans to see a movie.
What does she do at the high school?
Well, she was, like a lab assistant.
And what hand is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed.